Hello and welcome. You're watching Sports Chamber's new and exciting sports channel, and tell you what, we're promising a variety of great sporting content. It's about information that you can rely on. It's about reliable information. It's about factual information. But at the same time, it's about keeping you entertained. And guess what? We have a variety of sports events to track, to look at. And certainly from my standpoint, I cannot wait. Today we're going to be giving some significant developments in high school track and field in Jamaica. So if you're fans of Calabar, Hydel, Jamaica College, Kingston College, St. Jago, you'll definitely want to stick around. But I just want to say thanks to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, including before we even had content. We really appreciate your support. It's really been overwhelming so far, and we hope that that support will continue as we continue to provide you with great content. So thanks very much for that. Also, talking about great content, there's an interview that we have coming up for you in the next few days. You'll have access to that full interview. We had a chat with Tajay, Gayle, the three-time World Championship medalist, and his coach, Kerry-Lee Ricketts. Remember, he left the MVP Track Club a year ago, Tajay, Gayle, and joined up with Kerry-Lee Ricketts, who also guides his wife, Shanika Ricketts, multiple World Championship medalist and Olympic silver medalist in the women's triple jump. And they have formed quite a partnership. This was an interesting interview because it's not often you get to have a coach and an athlete at the same time, and we had that opportunity this time around. Let's give you a sneak peek of some of what Tajay had to say, specifically relating to why he left MVP a year ago.
Why was it time to leave MVP? Because it's not as if you hadn't had success, and we know you had some injury issues with the knee and so on, but why was it time?
Well, for one, I personally felt like MVP training was kind of getting too harsh for me. And I tried to explain it to the coach that I was having like a recovery issue. I mean, at the time I didn't know a recovery issue, but after I did my research, I could realize it was a recovery issue. So I was recovering fast enough into the next program.
Yeah, Tajay, Gayle, so much where that came from, that much we can promise you. So look out for that interview in the coming days. Tajay speaking about a number of other issues, including some of the difficulties he had in his 2025 season leading up to his World Championship silver medal. We got an opportunity to observe as well the type of chemistry that he has with his new coach, Kerry-Lee Ricketts. And we learn in that interview as well a lot about Kerry-Lee Ricketts himself. So we know of him mostly because of his time working with his wife Shanika Ricketts, but this was a real opportunity to dig a little deeper and learn a little bit more about him. So I'm sure you'll get an opportunity to see that full interview in the coming days. All right, let's talk about the main topic then, and that is around the high school track and field. Of course, the kids are back in school now, and usually, just like it is with the international athletes, once a season comes to an end, we're all looking out and we're trying to figure out our athletes leaving their current bases. Where are they going? Why are they leaving? And it's quite similar with the high schoolers as well, because quite often you have a number of athletes switching institutions, and in some cases departing to go to university early, usually overseas, but sometimes right here in Jamaica as well. And we've had a number of developments that I consider to be significant. Of course, we already know of Garth Smythe, who has left Mushet High School and gone to Holland High School, taking with him his son, Johan Ramaldo-Smythe, the former Class 2 200-meter champion, and Shanoya Douglas, the real superstar of that program. Of course, Douglas, a World Under-20 bronze medalist a couple seasons ago, and won the Carifta Under-20 100-200 double earlier this year. So she has tagged along with her coach, Garth Smythe, and they are now at Holland High. And that, of course, is not not news. Everybody knows that by now. But let's talk about some massive developments across Calabar High School and St. Jago High School, and how those developments as well impact Jamaica College, Hydel, and Kingston College. So let me start with Calabar, because 3 athletes and 3 big names are confirmed to be at other institutions. 1, Junior Gallimore, Champs 200 Class 1 silver medalist, Carifta Under 20 bronze medalist in Trinidad and Tobago for Jamaica, a 20.72 man at his best over 200 meters, critical part of Calabar's 4x4 team in 2025, and has also run on their 4x100 team. So that is a massive loss. Gallimore and Robert Miller, the former Class 2 400 hurdles champion, fell in the Class 1 final earlier this year, but then went on to win the Carifta Under 20 title. They are both at Hydel High School. They've left Calabar and they're at Hydel High School. I'll explain later in this video how all of that would have come about. Then there's a third athlete from Calabar High School, and that is Alejandro Palmer. He was 4th in the Class 2 boys 800 final. For a lot of the 2025 season was the number 1, but with about 300 meters to go in that Class 2 final, he was tripped, recovered magnificently to finish 4th, actually one of his best runs in a championship environment, I thought, and I personally thought he definitely would have medaled had it not been for that incident with 300 meters to go. And guess where he's gone? Kingston College. He's joined the Kingston College program from Calabar to Kingston College. We've seen a number of Calabar athletes leaving in recent years to Kingston College, to Jamaica College, and maybe in another video we'll take a really close look as to why that is happening and whether there is any possibility that that will continue happening. But certainly what I will do later on in this video is explain the connections as to why these athletes are where they are. But before I explain those connections, let me talk about one more Calabar athlete, a 4th Calabar athlete, which may be the biggest of them all, Shaquane Gordon. He's won in Class 2 at 100 and sprint hurdles. He is the Class 1 champion in the sprint hurdles as well. He is Carifta champion. He is Carifta record holder. He is a sensational talent. My understanding, he is still at school at Calabar, but he is unlikely to represent them at Champs 2026. Now, I know you're probably already doing the math. These are significant blows to the Calabar program, but I'll talk about that in detail a little bit more. Let me first of all though talk about what is happening at St. Jago High School, because yeah, they have suffered a few big losses as well. The biggest one I would think is Rushaine Richards, Class 3 400 champion from 2024, was one of the favorites for the Class 2 title in 2025. That's earlier this year, but he finished 6th in the final, although he went into champs with the fastest time of 47.91 seconds. And he wasn't great at the Carifta Games for Jamaica either, where he failed to get out of the first round. But he is a fantastic talent, and he has left St. Jago and is now at Jamaica College. There's also a second athlete from St. Jago who is at Jamaica College as well, Rashad Buckle, another quarter miler, real talent there as well. He is in Class 1, and so yeah, he is at Jamaica College as well. St. Jago with a couple other losses that I consider to be quite significant. One of them is the departure of Detarje Morgan, who has gone to Excelsior, a 10.69 performer at his best over 100 meters, a terrific addition to the Excelsior program, and I'll tell you why in a little bit as well. And then there are a couple others, Dante Redwood and Kevin McKenzie. Kevin McKenzie was a semi-finalist at both 100 and 200 in Class 2 at Champs 2025. They have migrated, so they are not at other institutions in Jamaica. They have migrated and so are no longer part of the St. Jago program. So, but some significant blows there to both the Calabar and the St. Jago programs, and gains for Hydel, Jamaica College, and Kingston College. What does it all mean, though? Let me start with the connections from a Calabar standpoint. So remember that Cory Bennett was the head coach of Calabar last season and for 3 seasons. And some would say that his departure from Calabar was not the most amicable. Yeah? Certainly that is the general feeling, that it wasn't. And so you now have a situation. I do remember around the time when it was being contemplated or discussed what would happen with Cory Bennett, there were a number of the Calabar athletes. There was a particular video going around that if Cory Bennett was not returned to the program as the head coach, that a number of the athletes would leave. And maybe, just maybe, we are seeing the result of that. But that is the connection. Remember as well that Cory Bennett is the head coach of the Hydel program on the girls' side. Well, he is in charge of the overall Hydel program. So it is not a massive surprise that Gallimore and Miller would take that route. What is also significant about that move for those two going to Hydel is that they don't have to worry about the quota system. They will be eligible to compete at champs right away. That's in 2026. Whereas, let's say Alejandro Palmer, who has gone to Kingston College, because he's not in 6th form, first of all, he has to sit out a year. But even if he had gone to 6th form, he would be caught up in the Kingston College quota system. Remember, if you transfer institutions, you are part of the quota system, and only 2 quota athletes can participate per class. So he would be battling with other athletes. In the case of St. Jago, remember, Bert Cameron, who was at St. Jago as a coach, he has gone over to the Jamaica College program. Incidentally, by the way, Cory Bennett is part of the Jamaica College program as well. But yes, Bert Cameron, who was at St. Jago, is now part of the Jamaica College program. And it's no surprise that at least a couple of the athletes would have gone with him. And in this case, Rushaine Richards, who, by the way, will not be eligible to compete at champs in 2026. He will have to wait until 2027. Buckle, though, will be able to compete because he's in 6th form, but he'll be part of the Jamaica College quota system, and Jamaica College already has a number of quota athletes in Class 1. I would say at least 3, and remember, only 2 of them can compete at champs. So some significant decisions are going to have to be made there from the Jamaica College standpoint, but it's not decisions that they are unaccustomed to. So I'm sure they pretty much know that, and the athletes know that as well. So we'll see how that will turn out. Detarje Morgan, who has gone across to Excelsior, he joins a very good Excelsior setup. Now, I'm actually quite excited about this one, if for nothing else, for what Excelsior will now bring to the party with their 4x100 setup. Because remember, they already have Raquel Reed, who ran a wind-assisted 1023 in the summer. It was 2.1 meters per second. Malik Nugent, 1027, the national youth champion. There is also Michael Graham, who is going to move from Class 2 to Class 1. Michael Graham won the Class 2 100 title in 2025, and he won the Carifta Under 17 title this year as well. So he moves to Class 1, and then Detarje Morgan joins that setup at Excelsior. Really, really excited for their 4x100 team. And it's early season. I mean, the athletes have only started training, 3 or 4 weeks ago. But when you look at that lineup, you become excited immediately. And then you think about some of the other athletes that Excelsior could also use as part of their 4x100 team. DeMarco Bennett, a former 400 hurdles, a champion in Class 2. He is in their Class 1 setup. Hoffman, who won the 400 hurdles Class 1 gold medal in 2025. So they can bring those athletes in as well as part of their 4x100 setup. And so that Excelsior team looking really, really good. And David Riley, as the technical director of the Excelsior program, has shown what his unit can do with talents like Morgan. I think he is the type of athlete who, although he's 10.69 now, in one season you could see him running 10.3 or even better. So it's exciting times. If you are Excelsior and you're thinking about the Gibson McCook relays, you're thinking about champs, and you're thinking about the Penn relays, it's a really good look for them on that front. Where it is not a very good look, I think it is for Calabar, because Calabar is a champs chasing school, and for you to lose 4 athletes of that caliber in 1 year will certainly hurt the program. Remember, as I pointed out earlier, Cory Bennett, his contract was not renewed, so he was not retained as the head coach, and the outstanding throws coach, Julian Robinson, has taken over as the man in charge at Calabar. There is also the outstanding Danny Hawthorne, who has in the past coached the likes of Johan Blake and Nickel Ashmead, Nathan Allen when he was at St. Jago, and so many other great high school athletes. Many of them as well have gone on to do great things on the international scene. And Hawthorne did have a previous stint at Calabar a couple seasons ago, and he is back now. So you can pretty much count him as the main man guiding the track program with Julian Robinson as the head coach. And you would have to say, given the fact that they have lost such quality athletes, they really do have their work cut out if they are going to make Calabar a serious threat for the champs title. A lot of people I know will look at this and think to themselves right away, well, based on what we're looking at, 2026 could be a straight shootout between Kingston College and Jamaica College. But one thing I've learned is that you cannot call champs too early, and you definitely cannot call champs in the month of October, because so many things can happen, and I think we have to be quite open to a lot of those things happening, and especially when the season gets underway in December really, but I would say proper in January. So yes, that is what is happening on the high school scene. I know that a lot of the subscribers to this channel will be heavily into high school athletics, and you don't have to worry. We're going to have you covered before the start of the season, and when the season gets going, we're going to have some great things for you. So I really want you to look out for all of that. And hey, just about any information you want to know, if you want me to check anything out, shoot me a message and I'll check it out and I'll confirm the information for you. But yes, that is what is happening now around the high school scene, and there are a few more things to talk about, but I'm going to leave some of those things for now. So thank you very much for watching. Remember again, subscribe, share, support the content. A lot of great content coming up. That Tajay, Gayle, Kerry-Lee Ricketts interview, you will want to see. That's in the coming days, and I'm very sure that you are going to enjoy that, and a lot of the other content that we will have on the channel. A few more things to break, but it's not time just yet. Yeah, stay tuned to Sports Chambers. Thank you very much for watching. It's been my pleasure. See you again soon.